judging me constantly. Do you have a good metaphor for us? That we should just like look at it and go, wow, that's a really good one.
I never thought of it like that.
You know, out of all the times that we have recorded this, I have never seen him so focused.
Serious.
He is so focused.
Determined.
Mm-hmm. Just get a little closer to the mic. No, not you.
I'm like, I thought I was.
No, not you. Ready? Not me. Not Hermione. Yo. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the wonderful Van and Gueso channel. I am still Venjigal.
And I'm still Mega.
That's right. And we have with us, our wonderful friend Gueso, who is awfully focused today.
Very determined.
Very determined, very focused. You just got to remind them, hey, Gueso, you just got to get a little closer to the mic whenever you're bringing your points. We definitely want some points today.
Metaphors, too.
The metaphors, yep. So, what are we doing? We are talking about the birth of Christ today. But before we do that, thank you, Gueso. Somewhere along that area there, somewhere in there, if you have a chance, go ahead and click on that. You want to say anything?
Make sure you like it too.
That's right.
You know?
And then you're supposed to like say the thank you for.
Oh, of course, I forgot about that. Thank you for watching and subscribing and being here every week with us, listening to this beautiful podcast we do every week.
That's right. Hey, Gueso, do you want to let him do it? Okay. Fine. Well, now that we got that out of the way, thank you again for taking the time to be with us and enjoying. We are going to get constantly interrupted by Gueso. Gueso is just very annoying today. He's been all over the place. We even tried getting all set up and all that. He wouldn't even let Adam say hello. Yeah. So, hey, Adam, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. If you could tell, Gueso is awfully stoic today. And he also changed his skin color, too.
Yeah. He did.
Looks prettier today.
Yeah. No Met stuff.
That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, Meg over here was celebrating. You should have seen him dance. Not pretty. Not what you want to look at. No. Yeah. But we do have the rest of the crew is here. The physical crew, and then we have Gueso over there. But we do want to share with you guys the wonderful news about the meaning of the birth of Christ. So we wanted to do that, and we want to take some time and explain a couple of things right off the bat. Number one, it didn't happen on the 25th of December.
Wait, what?
That's right. But let me ask you this. Does it matter when it happened?
Nope.
You know what matters?
That he did it.
That he actually was born.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. So what are some of the things that you think are very important about Jesus being born?
Oh, man, well, like you said before. We were talking before we started recording. He came here to save us.
That's right.
Prophecy fulfilled.
That's right. So Adam, what was the first prophecy about Jesus's return or Jesus's first coming here?
I believe the first prophecy is that he was going to bring us toys in a red sack, which, by the way, I still have not received my He-Man.
Wow.
He-Man.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. He did have He-Man.
You took it.
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
I took it. Oof.
Wow.
Well,
but this is the second iteration of He-Man,
Yes, he had the cool version.
When he had, long legs. Because before he used to just be up top, nothing.
Yeah, he was. They were all like this. Oh, every single one of them was like this. They had the kind of like the kung fu grip.
Yeah.
And then you put the sword.
Wow.
I remember the original He-Man came with an axe a shield and a sword. And then most people put the axe in the hand, the shield, and then the sword had a little thing on the back.
To put it
And
in
then
the
you
bag.
just put it there,
remember
and
that.
it always fell off. For whatever reason, it always fell off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's right.
But-
Not
but-
his.
All
No,
joking
no,
aside,
I'm
though.
saying,
All
took it
joking
back.
aside, the first prophecy is right at the beginning of Genesis, I
That's
believe, right?
Genesis 3:15.
Yeah, where we fail or we fall,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately we're redeemed. Saying that I don't know exactly what it is verbatim, but I know that it is mentioning the birth of the son of Jesus of coming back. And to put a little bit more context too on the episode is that we're in the month of December,
That's right.
and for anyone who knows my family, I love Christmas. Christmas, I think, is my favorite time of the year.
Yes.
Right around
It's like fall, and then
Yeah.
immediately.
it starts getting cold outside. We start getting longer days, get an extra hour of sleep. Thanksgiving, you spend time with your family. Christmas is the same thing. And then for Puerto Ricans, it's also Three Kings Day.
Yeah.
So we basically celebrate from November all the way to January.
Yeah.
Mid-January.
Yeah.
That's when they finish. The
And I just-
Jotavita.
Yeah. So for me, I feel that a lot of, as you get older,
Mhm.
Christmas starts, the specialness and the warmth for a lot of people ends up like fading away because, as a kid, it's the day that you get presents,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And depending on how your life goes, it may not seem important anymore. And I feel that for us Christians, we're lucky because we get to celebrate not only a time to be with your family, but the birth of Jesus. Now, like you said, we don't believe that he was born on the 25th.
Mhm.
However, it is time for us that amidst all that family time that we're having, that we get a chance that we can reflect on
Reflect is a big word.
Yes, we can reflect on the blessings that, the good news that we get being saved, being by the Savior who was born in a manger. So I guess today that's what we wanted to talk about.
That's right. And then, so for us to have some context to the story of Jesus, we have to understand, as Adam mentioned, we started off being okay. God created us being perfect and all that. We can hang out with God all the time, literally. And then, Eve listened to the serpent.
Mhm.
She got tricked. She then gave the fruit that she wasn't supposed to eat. She gave it to her husband because she was like, hey, it's good. And I didn't die. So have some. And then he listened to her. He did that. And they both fell from grace. And what they mean by they fell is that they became disobedient. They had never been disobedient to God. And then they were disobedient to God. And in doing so, they severed that connection that existed. That's very similar to, in marriage. At the moment you lie to your wife or your husband or in a relationship, the moment you screw up, it's very difficult to reestablish that. You have to work really hard.
Yeah.
In some cases, most cases, people don't come back from that, but there are times that they do. And luckily for us, the human race, we didn't have, a bitter partner on the other side
Right.
when that happened.
Yeah.
We had a loving God that immediately said, I will put enmity between you and her seed and your seed, and he will crush your head, but you are going to kill him or bite him in the ankle.
Yeah.
So that set the table. That set the table for what we today celebrate.
So you could say that his birth is the answer to ancient prophecy.
The
And I know-
very first prophecy.
And so that's the very first one in Genesis, but I know that in Isaiah, there's also, and I mean in other parts of the Bible, the Old Testament,
There's many.
that his birth answers.
Correct. I mean, his entire life we have, and if you guys don't have a church or you would like to know more about the Son, we have literally been on an entire year.
Yeah.
Is it maybe a little over a year?
Because
it's
been close.
Because we started,
With the Father.
With the
but we started the
With the
Son
Son.
right around the same time that we started the Ven and Hueso.
Oh, wow. Really?
So it has been a
Yo.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
It
a
was
year
right
and a few
around the
months.
same time.
Yo.
Because I remember sitting down and doing the outline for all the stuff while she was getting ready for the cancer stuff and whatever. So it's been a year.
How time flies,
so
man.
for you guys, if you haven't, you're more than welcome to join us on Discord on Mondays.
Yep.
It is completely free
on Facebook Live also.
and Facebook Live. All the information will be down at the
the
links and all that. But we have been talking about the son, and so what we did is we went to pre-birth, his life, and now we've been going into his death.
Yeah.
Okay. So it basically broke it down. So what you were saying, Adam, is correct. I mean, there was a lot of things that were prophesied before he was even born about his birth, that he would be born of a virgin. That had never happened before.
Yeah.
And we studied that.
See, let me ask you guys this question. Because I see this right around the holidays, these last few months. There's so many conversations that Christians have on like what their view and their stance is of celebrating Christians, right? There's people who are like, oh, whether we believe in Santa Claus, whether we're not believing in Santa Claus, whether we're celebrating Christmas or not. What's your point of view on all of this? Do you think it adds if you're a Christian, or subtracts if you have the Santa Claus, if you celebrate the cookies and the milk? And I mean, what's your perspective?
How much has that affected you?
It hasn't because since I was a kid, we did celebrate Christmas, and now living in this life as a Christian, I still celebrate it because
I feel like it has more meaning now.
And now, especially now, knowing exactly about the birth of Christ, so there's more significance to December, So,
I mean, it's a valid question, right? So, because everybody is so caught up, and this is, I guess, my argument would be this: everybody gets caught up on what is okay to do and what isn't okay to do.
Right.
So like people would say about Halloween, like you shouldn't participate in Halloween. Yeah. People say the same thing about Christmas. Don't dress up and all that other stuff.
Putting up the trees or something like that. Or
right.
Putting up
so
the lights.
The tree is a big one. They talk about how that was a pagan thing and all that. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, this is what I will tell you, at least from me. As a teacher, as a Bible teacher, I will tell you, I guess I'm going to use this. Paul says that serving God does not depend on what food you eat, what day you keep. Because, back in the day, they used to have the same arguments about whether the Gentiles should observe the Sabbath or not. Should they eat certain foods or not?
Should they get circumcised?
Should they get circumcised or not?
Right.
And Paul was very vocal about it. And he said, and I guess I'm telling you the same thing. It doesn't matter. Like to take it from the rock.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Your salvation, this is the one thing that gets me, is when people put salvation or the chance of being saved like kryptonite.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so when I first became a Christian, having a beard was a complete sin.
Yeah.
And so
we put obstacles in our own way.
Correct. Yeah. And then you kind of question, it's like, so you mean to tell me that Jesus's blood on the cross only works if I don't have a beard?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or Jesus, the Holy Spirit is not going to visit my home. What was that?
I know bro, listen, I don't know if you understand this. Ven is talking and you've been over there. He's looking at me.
I don't get it. What's it?
It's because you stole his line. You stole it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's why. What's that?
The great one.
Huh. Hey.
Yeah.
There's your first metaphor.
Wow.
I knew it. But the thing is, I guess, to try to summarize that is, Paul says, it doesn't matter what day you observe. It doesn't matter if you believed observing the day, keep observing it. Yeah. If you believe not eating that, then don't eat it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you as a Christian, if you want nothing to do with Christmas decorations and a tree and all that stuff, then don't celebrate it that way.
Yeah.
Don't celebrate it that way. If you don't want to celebrate Christmas, period, then don't celebrate it.
You know what? To me, I feel like, I don't know about if you guys feel the same way, but I feel like it's a slippery slope when you start getting into like what it is that you can and can't do. Because I also, like, I know that we're God's children, right? But I also feel that we are also human, right? And we get to live this world. We get to live in this world, this planet that Jesus and God created in the Holy Spirit. And within it, we find that we've created a culture, and our cultures have traditions. And I feel that honoring those traditions doesn't also go against God, right? Unless, of course, it's having you do something that, you know, having idols and stuff like that clearly God doesn't like. But for example, we're Puerto Rican, and our culture, our Taino culture, has us. You know, we have the Taino symbols for the coqui and for the for the sun and whatever the gods it was.
And the Africans, like the vejigantes and stuff like that.
And so we have those things that identify us as people,
Correct.
and we celebrate it.
Correct.
Right. And there's some people that are proud to display that. Hueso is one of them. But I know for a fact that those things don't hold a candle over God.
No.
Right. So I feel that it all depends on the person. Right. If to you it doesn't, Santa Claus isn't going to rob your he's not going to rob your salvation.
No.
I don't understand the point of wanting to tear that down for other people.
What Paul says. So here's the thing, and this is very clear in his teaching. Paul says that if someone offers you food and you know the food is been offered for the idols, right? You can eat it. He says, go ahead and eat it because Jesus is greater than the idol. Now, if a brother is there and that's going to make them fall, don't eat it. What does that mean? It means you love your neighbor like you love yourself. If that is going to be a problem for you,
be compassionate about the person.
Then I could. It's okay for me to not. So if you wanna bring it up now to like if you modernize it, right? Let's say you're at work, because a lot of us spend a lot of time at work.
Yeah.
Now you're working and you have people around you, and then you may have someone who's a Jehovah Witness. You do. There you go. Jehovah Witnesses, they don't participate. They don't celebrate Christmas. They don't celebrate birthdays. They don't do anything. So why would you talk to that person about that? True. You know it's going to cause a problem. Right. It's going to make them trip, right? And in what way is that loving them? So don't talk about that stuff.
Okay, but here's the thing. What if it's the same thing but with your belief? Like if I'm going to talk to you about Jesus, but that's your trigger. You know, like I feel like that there's a point where it's just like, well, this is my life. Like, yes, if I want to make this decision,
I understand that. But here's what Paul says, right? Okay. And this is how he dealt with it. Again, this is why I love Paul. You don't go about it in a challenging way,
right?
The way he remember the example that I brought. He went into that amphitheater where everybody had all those idols, and he didn't go head on
fighting and wanting
I'm going to squish you. Now, could he have done that?
Yeah.
100%. Would he have been wrong? No. He has the true God.
Yep.
You are all following blindly stuff that created by the hands of somebody. You know what I mean? You don't worship the creation. You worship the creator. But what do you gain from that? You gain nothing. So Paul, he went about it. So let's say you have the Jehovah Witness that works with you. Then if he brings up, because it's going to happen, the moment you identify yourself as a Christian, they are going to bring up. And then you can then, in a loving way, because it has happened to me, in a loving way, I am telling you right now, everything that any argument you bring will always fail to love God above all things and love your neighbor like you love yourself. It doesn't matter how you throw it. It doesn't matter how you try to accommodate it. It's going to fail if it doesn't add up to love God above all things and love your neighbor like you love yourself.
I agree.
Yeah. And Mega, so check this out. I'm thinking here, and I'm like, the reason why I feel Christmas is so synonymous with Jesus is because it's the one holiday out of the year that we have to think about our neighbor, right? That it's not about giving or it's not about receiving. It's
about
about giving.
That's right.
Right. So yes, we said at the beginning of the episode, this isn't, we don't believe that he was actually born on, because there's people who actually believe that. We're like, oh, did you know he wasn't born on time? Yeah,
Yes, we
know.
get it. And we get the whole thing of the Christmas tree and where it came from.
Yep.
Every solitary thing, Halloween and all that stuff, it has some sort of human invention associated with it. You're missing the
Like, don't
point
forget
if
that you're-
that's what you're looking
right.
at.
It's like, don't forget that you're also human.
Yes.
And that you have these traditions that I am proud of those things, because it just tells you the story that we have been able to create, family and ties to people, even if we are different times that have been able to surpass ages, and that we're still keeping these traditions alive, and they don't need to mean anything other than for Christmas, our family likes to get together, and I'm pretty sure, Miguel, it's the same thing with you, that putting up the Christmas tree and putting up lights is the best time. You put on Christmas music in the background, and as a family, we're just putting up, decorating the stuff.
And let me tell you something. Even when you get older, because you had a very good point. When you're younger, you're looking for. I mean, if you are in a family that celebrated that, you're looking forward to the gifts.
Yeah.
Because you're a kid. But you know what? When you're older, you're also looking forward to the gift because you're giving them.
Yeah.
And you see
So to me, to see the reaction, like I will tell you here, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I'm gonna say it was last year. No, yeah, it may have been last year. It doesn't matter, but it was in the past couple of years. We had a Christmas here that I remember Abigail went out of her way to try to get something, some stuff for Valerie.
Yeah.
Or was it the other way around? Valerie getting...
No,
it was Abigail. So Abigail went out of her way and got some specific things for my older daughter, Valerie, but she didn't say anything. And when they were exchanging the gifts, now we in my family, initially, a long time ago, they would have to wait until the next day, Christmas Day in the morning,
that so much.
to wake up and go check the gifts and all that stuff. But initially, when I was young, my family only waited until midnight, and then we sat around the Christmas tree, and at midnight we exchanged the gifts. So we have been doing that now that everybody's all grown in my house.
Yeah. I mean, a few years ago, we had the storm, and we got catered away, and it was like 22. It was the 22nd of December. We're like, let's open the gifts. Who cares?
Yeah. So, but anyways, but the cool thing was seeing Valerie's face when she opened the thing. It made her cry because she was not expecting. And then I look across, and Abigail is a mess, and she's over there. Abby gets super red. She gets like spotted red, right, when she's crying. She's over there crying, and Valerie's over here crying. And I'm like, how could you possibly want to miss this?
Yeah.
Like this time of the year brings that, like you're saying, it brings that from people. I don't know, how is it at your house?
It's the same thing. We wake up at 5 a.m, 6 a.m. We farina or oatmeal. That's the tradition. That's the tradition. So we eat that.
See, every family has a tradition.
And después we give out the gifts, But the night before, on the Christmas Eve, we go to her father's house, and we do this every year. We go big deal. One year we all went as Grinch. The year after, this year we're doing ugly sweaters. We're doing ugly sweaters this year, and we go to his house and he gives everybody their gifts.
So you need a picture of me to have it stitched up?
And it's fun, man. And me recuerdo de cuando yo era un chamaquito.
You get that Tyson one with his
the
back,
Tyson booty cheeks,
with the booty cheeks one.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
But yeah, the traditions, like you said, and as we get older and we pass away, I'm hoping that my children do it with their children.
Right.
Well,
they keep it going.
Just imagine that where that starts. That's where all traditions start. It's done with the family, and then it gets carried on, and then eventually you look down the future, and then people are like, you used to wake up in the morning and do farina, and then they're like, eso es del diablo ahora. Like going on, like in the future,
What? No,
it has evolved
right.
into this thing of like, if you do that, it means that you're doing something else. And it's like, bro,
You know what's incredible? So in the Melendez family, Melendez is my last name. So in the
just ousted yourself. Wow.
it doesn't matter. I mean, seriously,
What's the whole point of having the masquerade name?
what masquerade? People are going if they jump into our Discord, it says it right there, so
That's
it's
insane.
okay.
Yeah, it's true actually.
But I'm going to say so for our family in Puerto Rico when I was a kid, the place was my grandma's house, right?
Abuelita Mote.
No,
No.
Abuelita Julia.
Okay.
So my dad from my dad's side,
Oh, okay.
it was at her house, right? And I remember my early Christmases. My grandfather was still alive, but he was a drunk, so he was always in the corner over there, drunk, and always smelled. You know, he was like a drunk, right? But I'm the youngest. Monica and I are the youngest of all the cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So we were not necessarily allowed to be with the other ones because everybody was at least 5 or 6 years older than us.
Okay.
And Monica lived in the U.S., so whenever she came down, she was, in her teens and stuff. So whatever. So, but the thing was, every single year for either Christmas for Thanksgiving or for New Year's or Christmas around the holidays, it was always at my grandma's. So that was a tradition. Now, here's the thing, what you were saying. And this is all because of Jesus. Like, we don't think about this, but all of these things are happening because of Jesus' sacrifice. Because he set the standard, and that's what everybody celebrates. Those people will live forever. Because my grandmother, I can tell you, who have been adopted to our family, and I know that I've been adopted to yours.
Of course.
You have heard of my abuelita Julia playing dominoes.
Yeah.
And now we say, oh, Abigail is Julia.
Yeah.
Because Abigail, when she plays dominoes, she gets it. She goes right through the throat and she just gets you. My abuelita Julia, she would play and she sat down. It'll be hours before she got up. Like, people just couldn't beat her. But here's the thing: she passed away. She's been dead.
It's been immortalized in tradition.
But now in tradition, exactly.
Yeah.
That is how it passes on. And then now
that's a beautiful thing too, because it's not like it's for specific people. Right.
But here's the thing, but none of those people there, I don't mean to cut you off, but none of those people that were present there, not one was a Christian.
Yeah.
Now, they were Catholic, but it's not the same. And this is not a shot against the Catholics, but Catholic and Christians are not the same. Like, Christians that believe in Christ. Catholics believe in Christ. They still believe in Mary and they still believe in the rosary and all that other stuff, which is not biblical. That's not the point. We're not here to argue that. But none of those people, none of them. Now, some of them now, later on in life, have reached out and have found the Lord and this, that, and the other in their lives, and they're really connected. But back then, it didn't matter. We were all celebrating Jesus. Yeah. And how could you possibly not want to be a part of that?
It's like celebrating Jesus incognito, because that's
Correct.
The beautiful thing about it is that while you're not celebrating him in name, you're celebrating the things that he believed in. And that's what I was going to say.
His teachings, yeah.
What I was going to say was that within that tradition, I feel like God, in the way that he has shown humanity and the way that they've grown, like we have these family gatherings that we have now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we have these, whether you're a Christian or not, this is why I feel like some atheists can say the things that they say that they don't need to believe in Christ to be able to love. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, the only reason why you love is because at some point in human history, we were taught that emotion of love. We were taught with actions first, mm-hmm. as opposed to just being explained to what it is. Because God, when he had that opportunity to kill us for our sins, decided to show us mercy and love by having something sacrificed. And on top of that, he prophesied that his son was going to come down and save everybody else.
That's correct.
So for me, I feel that when you have those moments when you're with your family and you have family members that don't believe in God or they do believe in God, but they've all come together into one place and they're celebrating and loving each other and, getting each other gifts they're thinking about other people. It's like, that's the essence.
Yes.
I feel like of being a Christian, because the entire time you're looking to be a blessing to somebody else in any way that you possibly can. It just so happens to be that in that holiday, you're looking for things.
And the thing is that in most places, I would say, I don't know if you would agree with this, but about 90% of the world, they would know who that is. They would understand what that is. Like if you mention Christmas or you mention Christ, they would go, oh, okay, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they would understand.
Definitely.
It's not like
or even if they don't, they have those they know the emotions.
But that's
which
the
is the
thing.
Thing
Yes.
It's an unspoken, you don't have to attach words to it.
Yeah.
We all have that thing of everyone has sat down with their loved ones at some point in their lives and has shared.
And heard about it
Yeah.
too. Exactly.
Right.
100%.
I mean, isn't that how like Native Americans have passed on their entire histories?
Exactly.
Are based on gathering around the fire and talking about, and that's how their ancestors live forever.
Exactly.
Because
Vikings don't even have the recorded history because all of it was through song or through story that is now specifically for those people. It's like how special something like that is. Like they don't necessarily believe in Christ and they're not from a land that I'm aware of, but I can appreciate the fact that they sat down together. That's the way that they because it just reminds me of
where
my
did
family.
they learn it from?
Exactly.
It's the thing. It's like it's not an alien thing for us humans to do. What was that?
Right. Good point.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's true.
That's a good one.
He did say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
What?
Well, that's
I
why
never
he's-
thought that he would say something like that.
That's why he loves the Mets too.
Insane.
Mets.
Yeah, so I guess I wasn't originally gonna say like, oh, let's share Christmas stories because I was like, I didn't know how the conversation was gonna flesh out, but I mean, I'm happy that it's gone to this way, and I appreciate you sharing that Abuela Julia story that you had.
Yeah.
So I guess Meg, I'll ask the same thing. Do you have, or Valerie's story, I should say, do you have any Christmas memories that you remember, whether you're a kid or whether you're doing it now with your family, but anything that you go?
I mean,
like,
I wanted to mention that because of what you had said. So I apologize if it was kind of like out of the, but I guess to emphasize the Christmas spirit, like how it's in everybody, the desire to be a blessing to other people.
Right.
I'm reminded of the movie Scrooged.
Scrooged.
Yes.
Yeah, Scrooge.
You know which one I'm talking
Yeah.
about with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That-
At the end, he's saying, this is the time of year where everybody wants to be a little nicer. They want to smile a little easier. They want to, and he goes, and I get it now. And I want to do it. And I want more of it, and that it's so true. That's the effect that Jesus had. That was all his teachings was about loving one another. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. Memories, man, I used to love going to my titi's house. My godmother, she, and I didn't care about these extravagant gifts. Yo cogía lo que me daban, but I used to love going there because, like you said, la familia and your friends, older people. Because my uncle he had a good band, so he's blind, so he played the guitar, he cantaba every weekend. So they would throw little jams in the house, live music, and I used to love just being there, watching everybody. Like, wow, this is nuts. I would love to continue this if I can. And now with my kids, like I said, la farina. Everybody gets up early.
Dresses up.
We freaking open up the gifts, have fun. They get to have fun all day, and
I wonder
those
what
are
that
memories that are always gonna stay there.
That emotion they feel. Because for me, Christmas has a few different dimensions to it. Right? It's the memory, but then it's also I remember the feeling of being in the room of what it is, and then sometimes I listen to the music. And the music brings me back to that.
Okay, I got this one. How about looking out the window and it's like that perfect
Winter Wonderland?
Well, it's like the ambience. It's like perfect. Like I love one of the reasons why I love the fall is because of that overcast gray, and then it's like It's never a perfect sunny day, and I don't like the perfect sunny day for Christmas. I don't.
It's like a gloomy.
I like the gloomy. Let's stay home, everybody. Like, let's cook some soup and stay home. You know what I mean?
Sopa. Oh, God,
yeah.
dude. Yes. But I get you. But listen, you're Jose Feliciano. You know,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Feliz Navidad.
I swear, bro. If you were gonna say that's your cousin, your uncle, I was gonna.
That would have been crazy. But every time he sings, I hear that song play. It takes me back. I'm not that old, but it takes me back to the 80s when I was a kid, and I could feel what I felt then.
Yeah,
I could taste what I tasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Te lleva para atrás ese momento, and you're like, wow, this is crazy,
bro.
Go ahead.
For me, it's the quiet. I feel like when it's snowing outside,
I love that.
And you go outside, it's like the snow's already falling. It's cold.
But there's nobody, not a solitary person out.
It's like the ambience is orange because the lights are being soaked up by the snow, and all you hear is your footsteps. Like it's the snow has been, so you hear on the concrete, you hear the I walk in, and I just remember like going to my uncle's house. Like I remember those silent moments of us walking to the house, or us at the church party that we would be walking outside or into the church party, and then it's nice and warm and it's loud and whatever. It's like, and I feel like the Elf soundtrack, that first song, that's why I like the Michael Bublé song. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas because it starts with that orchestra at the beginning.
Yep,
and that is what reminds us. Like,
how could you possibly know? So at the end of the day, it really is not about the Christmas tree or Santa Claus or it's really not about any of that stuff. It's because you're not going to remember Santa Claus.
No.
You're not going to remember the Christmas tree. You're not going to remember. As a matter of fact, a lot of times putting up the Christmas tree ends up being, an argument.
Yeah,
it ends up always being an argument at my house.
Nobody wants to do it
because nobody wants to fully commit to it.
We've said that we were going to for Thanksgiving. Everyone had 5 days off.
We didn't do it.
We didn't do it.
We didn't do it.
Listen, my wife does that. I don't. Ella no me deja. She does not let me touch the tree for nothing. So I just.
No, my wife used to do it. She used to do it. That we would come home and like half of the stuff would be up and it's just a tree. And she always thought that, we should put the ornaments because we have our specific ornaments.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, I have Vader.
We
still got them. They're somewhere.
No. To me, when she painted the houses black and threw them away, we had ornaments from the original Grinch. Well, I say the original Grinch, but the Jim Carrey Grinch.
I remember that.
They were from Burger King. And it was these Whoville houses that if you look down through them, you can see a part of the scene. And we still had them up until like 2 years ago. That she, in her craziness, she was like, I'm going to make a tree out of wood. And then I'm going to put the houses on that. And then that changed into something else. And then she painted them black. And then she was like, oh, we're not going to use that tree anymore. So then she threw it away. And I was like,
yeah. What's that?
Yeah. Any stories?
No, you didn't. You weren't there.
I can't wait to edit this. This is going to be so much fun.
Oh, my goodness. All I know is he's being super loud over there.
It's payback.
Yes.
No, but I think that was a good. We'll go around and say like what you think that we should let people know about.
Yeah.
The meaning of Christmas with Jesus' birth and whatever. But to me, I feel that this is the time of the year where nobody should be alone. Right.
No, I agree.
You should be with your family no matter what the situation is. If it's something you have to realize that some people don't get to live long lives. You only have maybe 60 years that you get to experience this life, right? And one of the blessings that I think about is the fact that God allowed me to live these 60 years because I could have easily just stayed in heaven or wherever it is that, it maybe not even created. But the fact that he allowed me to come down here, gave me the family that he gave me the experiences that I was going to experience. It's to live them to the fullest, right? And the last thing that I'm going to remember, or the most thing that I'm going to remember, is this holiday, specifically because of the time that I get to spend with my family. So, you should look for, if you're going to follow anything in life, you should follow something that is going to advocate for peace, advocate for love. Always. Because that's what everyone always needs, right? Nobody needs more war. Nobody needs more hate. Nobody needs more anger. But people can always use love, right? Yeah. Love is something that you can have abundantly and not die of and not overdose on. And this is the
And
time
it's
of the
free.
year. Yeah, it's 100%
It's
free.
free.
This is the time of the year where everyone is advocated to give it freely. And as a Christian, I feel that you should be doing it double because it's already a job that we're doing. But on top of that, now, we have an excuse to do it. So that's all for me. I'll pass it on to my co-hosts here and see what they think.
And it goes back to what he always says: love your neighbor. So same thing at work. You love everybody. You give everybody the same love and admiration that you expect that somebody to give you. The respect also. So when you do stuff like that, the gratitude they give you in return it's like us to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. The
We
best
are
part is that
thankful,
it's
man.
real.
And it's real. Oh man, it feels
Yeah.
so good, man.
Yeah.
Like today, I went today to go shopping, and I see a gentleman at the directory screen, and I see him. He's looking at the map, and I'm like, I know I'm off duty, but let me go talk to. I'm like, sir, do you need help? And he goes, excuse me. It's like, did you find what you're looking for? He goes, yeah, I'm looking for Prime. I was like, all right, sir, you just walk straight over there, and you'll find it. And all right, thank you so much. And he walked away, and I walked away, and my wife is like, where were you? I was like, I couldn't help it. I had to help the gentleman.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
I had to.
It feels good though.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
It's
man.
like this call that you just can't ignore.
Yes.
You're just sitting there and you go like, but if I ignore it, then I'm always going to
I'm
remember
wrong.
it.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
I could have helped this guy. I knew I had the answer.
Did you get that from the class from yesterday where you're like, yeah, I should have done that and I didn't
Yes,
do
man,
it. You know what I mean?
There's times like that too.
Wait,
'cause-
was that from yesterday or was that from the preaching? It may have been from the preaching. I don't know.
No, it was
I lose
yesterday,
I lose track of stuff. I'm old.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's quite possible. What was that?
Yeah. What do you got to say, Gueso?
Right. Oh man.
That's so true. It's so true.
Oh man.
This guy is killing it today.
He's on it, man. He's on it. The one thing I would say, Gueso, is that we don't appreciate the nakedness.
Yeah.
Maybe you
you
should have
gotta-
put something on.
Maybe shave a little bit.
I mean, this is kind of PG. I know it's on the internet, but
bro.
there's gonna be all kinds of people
Got
watching
Miguel
this.
next to you.
for real.
I mean, put that thing away.
There are children here.
For me, Christmas is, and I'm just gonna echo both Adam and Mega. Christmas is about loving somebody else. It really puts it on the forefront, right? It really brings out that feeling and that desire, and it's not. You should take advantage of it because there's companies, there's institutions and all that. They want to go out of their way to help somebody. Here in the Buffalo area, I know it's kind of late for it, but we had the boxes of love. We had, the Pastor Eric and his church, his children went out and his nephews went out
Yeah, I
with
saw that.
the
Yeah,
homeless.
that's right.
These are great things that people should be aware of and that people should be doing.
That's actually a good, and I'm sorry to interject here, but if you guys need toys, and I'm specifically speaking about the Buffalo, New York area, if you're in need of toys for this Christmas, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but sign up at it says here, bolbdc.org, or you can click on the link to register for toys. So I'll have the link down in the description. You'll see the little graphic up, but Pastor Eric just shared. They're doing their boxes
So we
of
would have to
love.
get this video would have to get out rather quickly so
Yeah.
people can actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure Gueso, right? You're okay with that. Good. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. As long as he's okay with it. I mean, you can blur the nakedness and
Of
whatever.
course. That would be hilarious.
Yes.
Now I'm doing that.
Yes.
I'm just going to have a blur.
Because he's naked the entire time.
Yeah, dude. Come on, bro.
That's not right, man. That's not right. I'm always thinking about other stuff too. But Christmas is definitely not about. It's not about the tree. It's not about Santa Claus. It's definitely not about the three kings like in Puerto Rico. There weren't even three kings. It was. They were not. They were not even kings. They were like
shepherds, right?
no. So what they say is the three kings. They're not even kings,
They're
right?
wise men.
They were wise men, and it was
The
a
Paul Heymans.
caravan.
There were 3 Paul Heymans.
It was a caravan of them. They came across the desert. You don't come across the desert with 3 people. It's a caravan. And these people were learned. They were like scientists of their time.
Okay.
They were studying the stars and stuff, and they noticed that one. And so
Do you
that's what
think
they followed.
When they showed up, they said, "Excuse me, my name is
Have your
Paul
attention, please.
Heyman."
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He's the man.
He
He's
is.
the man.
He is. You know what before I close out on it, you know how cool you gotta be that you don't have an entrance music? All you have is my name,
And
Yeah.
everybody.
and everybody lost it.
Yeah.
I have watched that video so many times because I love
Yeah.
it. Anyways, but this is the kind of stuff that you should be really focusing on, is getting a chance to be with that family member you haven't seen for a long time, or your neighbor or somebody else that needs the help. Be around for them. That's what Christmas is all about. If you have a family and you're the head of the family, or you're part of, the family, whatever, and get involved. Create those lasting memories, because this time of the year is really set for that. We have wonderful memories about everything that we have done, and we have our own traditions. Mega, you talked about dressing up, which is kind of cool. Dressing up, everybody showing up. I can only imagine everyone showing up like the Grinch. That's pretty cool. I mean, I would say that's 6 o'clock. Exercise 7 o'clock. Dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again.
Listen, my little girl watches that movie every single day.
I used to have
sit there
to.
with her.
I used to be able to do the actual voice. I don't know if you remember, but I was pretty good at doing the voice. And when I stood at the bus stop when Abigail was just like in kindergarten or first grade, she would have me recite, and she would be Cindy Lou, and then I would have to stand there waiting for the bus to show up, doing the Grinch.
Yeah. That is a Jim Carrey caricature.
That's
for
right.
Sure. He does the Ace Ventura. I love. There's a moment where I remember that we were in the mall, and you know how they have the music playing in the mall.
Oh,
so in Ace Ventura, the first one, there's he walks into a party and they're playing the violin, and he starts rocking out. So we're walking through the mall, and you hear the music, and my dad just starts dancing exactly like Ace Ventura. It was so funny.
Yes.
Those are the good
Yes.
old days.
I don't have a life.
But I feel like this episode cannot be complete without using some of Gueso's. We have to remember that, going through life, going through Christmas, if you feel alone, you have to remember that you are never beyond repair.
You're never too far gone.
And walk by faith and not by sight.
There you go. Finish it off, Bear. All right, thanks. Perfect.
No, you cannot take your J's
And throw.
and throw them at somebody,
Exactly.
especially during Christmas.
Mhm.
That's not what we do. What did we tell you?
Exactly.
Unreal. Well, that is it for us. Unless, of course, Adam or Omega have anything else.
I think I'm good.
We just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful holidays with your family. Hopefully you have a great New Year's as well.
Yeah.
In the event that this comes out way before Christmas, still have a wonderful Christmas, and take some time and be with your family. Start some new traditions and enjoy them.
Amen. Well, we'll see you guys. Thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.